Warning, the story below is not for the faint of heart. There are no ghosts. No monsters. Only humans, and humans are the scariest of all. I still remember how thrilled I was when I booked that cabin. The photos on Airbnb looked stunning, clean, beautiful, with a forest view, and surprisingly cheap. The host messaged me, extremely friendly. Hope you have a peaceful retreat, no cell signal, no neighbors, no disturbances. At the time, I thought, perfect. Exactly what I need to escape everything. But I had no idea that very isolation would be the thing that devoured me. It all started when I discovered a hidden camera inside the cabin. Then, every night, at the same time, I began hearing noises outside the window. And on the third night, I realized I wasn't alone. I was prey. Below is part 1, the first night of the story series. I rented a cabin in the woods and found myself in a human hunting game. Part 1, the first night. I arrived at the cabin in the late afternoon. The air was crisp, the pine trees rustled in the breeze. The cabin sat tucked away in a clearing with no sign of life, just as the ad had promised, completely isolated. The host didn't show. They simply left the key in a lockbox and a handwritten note. Welcome to your sanctuary. May you enjoy absolute peace. Note, no cell signal. Weak Wi-Fi. For emergencies, use the radio on the wall. Signed, L. I chuckled and shook my head. A little over the top. I'm here to relax, not survive in the wild. The cabin was even better than expected. Scented wood, clean floors, a warm fireplace, a stocked kitchen, and a bed straight out of a vintage film. No TV. No clock. Just the sound of wind whistling through the trees. I unpacked, played some music on my Bluetooth speaker, and opened my laptop to watch some offline movies. Then, a soft beep came from the corner of the room. I froze. On the bookshelf sat a tiny black device, blinking red. I stepped closer. It was a camera. No bigger than a fingertip, and it was recording. I immediately searched the room, ceiling, shelves, bathroom. There were 3 more. This was no longer fun. Part 2, someone else's eyes, my skin. I started packing, ready to leave the cabin immediately. But as I opened the door, my car was gone. The SUV I had parked right out front vanished. I froze. I'd left the key inside, in the box next to the stove. No one should have been able to drive it away. Unless. I rushed back into the cabin. Each footstep now echoed hollow and loud. Every window, every light, every timber plank, felt like it was watching me. I ran to the emergency radio. Dead. Checked my phone, no service. And the battery was dying fast, even though I barely used it. A soft click echoed. I spun around. The wooden wall behind the sofa had opened a crack. I held my breath and approached. Inside was a narrow, pitch-black room, and a glowing screen. On it was me, standing in front of the screen, live. I was being live-streamed. I gagged. Then I saw it, a list of names, each marked viewer #XXX and the amount they had bet. And the final message on screen made my legs buckle. The game begins. Reward, $100,000. Rules. You have 1 hour to run. After that, the hunters will be released into the woods. They paid for the right to hunt you. Good luck. Part 3, Countdown Hour. I bolted from the cabin. I had nothing but a small flashlight and a kitchen knife stuffed hastily in my jacket. The darkness before me opened like a mouth, hungry to swallow me whole. I didn't know where I was running to. All I knew was, 1 hour. That's all I had. I ran. Crashed through claw-like bushes. Mud clung to my boots like it wanted to pull me back. I found higher ground, thick with fallen leaves. I dug a shallow pit, crawled inside, covered myself. My heartbeat thundered so loudly I feared it would give me away. Then I heard footsteps. Stealthy. Slow. Purposeful. Someone, or something, was approaching. No talking. No lights. Only the sound of branches snapping underfoot. A click. Right by my ear. Someone had just taken a picture of me. I didn't know what kind of camera, but the sound was chilling enough to make me nearly bolt. I turned my head slowly, and saw a metal mask peering from behind the trees. He just stood there. Watching me. No moving forward. No stepping back. Just watching. I leapt up and ran. The footsteps followed, heavier now. Not one person. At least two. I fell, my knee burst open, blood gushing. I crawled into a rock crevice, so tight I had to hold my breath just to squeeze in. A flashlight beam skimmed over me, then passed. A voice, cold, emotionless. He's playing well. Bet I catch him before the 10-minute mark. Another voice chuckled. Sure. I'll wait till he begs. They were betting on my survival. I stumbled into an abandoned outpost. Inside, a dusty table, a dead computer, and a camera pointed straight at the door. The screen blinked a message. 8 minutes left. Hint, turn the PC on. I didn't know why, but I obeyed. The camera turned on. The screen showed my face, trembling, soaked in sweat, eyes wide in horror. A ding rang out. Like someone just tipped a performer. Viewer number 1923, plus $2,000. Viewer number 8471, zoom in. I want to see the moment he realizes it's over. I backed away. Behind the monitor, a secret door creaked open, and the sound of footsteps echoed inside. Slow. Certain. Part 4, The Mask Falls. I froze as the masked man stepped in from the hidden doorway behind the screen. He didn't rush. Each step calculated, like he wanted to stretch my fear as long as possible. So, you found the surveillance room, he said, voice low but echoing through the rotting wooden cabin. I backed away, gripping the knife inside my jacket. Why me? Not why, but thanks to you. He stepped forward, removing his mask. I couldn't believe my eyes. Marcus, an old friend from college. He had vanished during senior year. Rumors said depression, maybe even suicide. You. I didn't disappear. I found my purpose. His eyes gleamed, the kind of gleam only people with terrifying clarity possess. I was once a victim. Like you. He pointed at the computer screen, my face looping on playback. But I survived. And I realized, this game isn't about killing. It's about forging the strongest. And if I don't want to play, then you're just another boring ending, a corpse in the woods. He stepped closer. Held out a new mask. Put it on. Or die. Those are the rules. I looked at the mask. Looked at Marcus. Looked at the screen, thousands of comments pouring in. Viewer number 5581, will he strike back? Viewer number 0102, don't disappoint us. Let the blood flow. Viewer number 8729, plus $10,000 if he stabs Marcus. I realized. They weren't just watching. They were controlling us. I put on the mask. Marcus grinned. Good. Welcome to the club. I nodded. Took one step toward him. And stabbed. Blood splattered the computer screen. Comments exploded. The camera zoomed in on my face, wide-eyed, shaking, but alive. Final chapter, the game never ends. I woke up the next morning in another cabin. On the table, a sealed envelope, a phone, a map, and a new mask. First message buzzed in. Welcome back. Tonight, you'll be the hunter. And somewhere in the woods, a new guest was just stepping into their cabin, completely unaware. They were next.